It is an important life goal to know and then determine your future. However, with all the higher education, technological systems, social media apps, massive governments, religious and other organizations, not even one teaches how to diagnose, predict, and possibly adjust your future so that you do not behave and walk as a blind person on earth. What we know is that our ancestors had spherical devices of light semiconducting crystals that were arranged in the temples of Karnak and many other temples facing east as well as south and west. And these crystals were used to balance the magnetic resonance of melanin dominant humans, African cells. Then you could ask and know your future as well as your past. Our title is The Ways to Know Your Future, which we must start to use today. Others are already far ahead of us by centuries. Here's what Abraham Lincoln said. He said the best way to predict the future is to create it. It is very true, therefore, that European governments are 40 years ahead of the public. Predicting the future must be your ultimate goal, since to know your future gives you great power to control the present moment as well as that future. So let's ask the question. Who is dominating the present moment? Obviously, the answer is very clear. COVID vaccinations. What are the primary goals of all these COVID vaccinations that they say it will go on beyond 2023? What type of future are we looking at when we hear of COVID vaccinations of all humans on the earth? Is this the future that Abraham Lincoln helped to set? Who is setting this future today by publicly going on all systems to vaccinate every human being on the earth? Is this a natural trend? Is it what we can know as the future? Here are the 7 basic ways to know your future. The first one is you must understand the present moment, because the present moment is the vehicle that is taking you to the future and probably hiding your past. Those who want to control the future and their future master the present and start to work hard to alter, if possible, their future. Number 2, you need a solid, immovable guiding factor, which we call the source. It is the anchor that predetermined how events on earth took place, will take place, or are taking place. So, what is your source? What is your anchor? We'll review our anchor shortly. 3, there are 2 events you should consider so that you can deal with the future that is coming. So, the anchor that we have as Marifado Family Group is the Creator, who is not a spirit or a being, who is separated from humanity and all creation by a chasm. And there are the gods and the divinities and the spirits and the living dead and Mskabano. And others want to tell us about evolution, which we know is fake. Does the Creator create your future too? The shocking answer is no. Who then creates your future? You and the laws of the future, or the laws of the present moment. The 2 laws you have to deal with so you can grow the knowledge of knowing your future. The philosophical doctrine and events teaches us that they occur as deterministic or indeterminism, as well as random predictions. Deterministic events include moral choices, some natural cycles or phenomenon, which are completely predictable by knowing previous historical events. Determinism is usually understood to preclude free will because it entails that humans cannot act otherwise than they do. Randomness is synonymous with the unknown, unexpected, unanticipated. But these are real events. So these are the 2, randomness and deterministic. Although the way to know your future is largely dependent on random events, unpredictable events, if we are clear and very correct in deterministic causes, we have a basis to correctly predict our future. We therefore need correct knowledge of the laws of cause and effect as predicted from creation cycles, natural phenomenon, human and alien activity. This is when we must acknowledge our motto today: may the gods appear. We need to deal with these variables and we need to deal with this knowledge. So number 3, we must spew out ignorance. Since the unknown has more potential than the known, everyone who pretends to know when they don't repeat the past. To change the future, understand the old and present. Once your understanding is strong enough, it will release the old and allow you to embrace the new, which is leading you into the future. This is your life path. And by listening to your soul edge, you are ready to move into the future, to have an effect of moving into the future. Number 4, you have to learn to deal radically with data. Think. And also by doing that, you will be able to deal with the cognitive biases. And these cognitive biases, there are 4 of them that we want to deal with here. Confirmation bias is to look always and understand easily the knowledge or information that support your existing belief and reject data that goes against it. Anchoring, we have already indicated anchoring. In other words, jumping to conclusion based on information obtained early in the process, or just jumping into conclusion and sticking to one area and continue to explore that area. Availability bias, relying only on readily available information. So we must know that the information we have today is totally and completely limited. Overconfidence is placing too much faith in your knowledge, opinions, and what you already know, which is a flaw and a very deadly confidence. There is good confidence and bad confidence. The ways to know your future implies that the future may not look familiar with your present moment, because probably you are already in an illusion. So you need to explore further and to accept that you have to learn more and learn a lot more of the data. Number 5, assisted ability to determine the future. And we are going to explore a lot of them here. Sekidi is a process of divination using seeds to predict future events. The person officiating arranges the seeds on a mat in 16 small heaps, then forms figures, the meaning of which he interprets. This was practiced and is practiced in Madagascar. Divination is the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge. Here are some more methods and ways which we can employ to understand and predict our own future, as well as devise a method to determine our future. Aeromancy, the telling of fortune by wind and air. Hydromancy, secrets only water can reveal. And also there are many other ancient African systems. Here there are more than 20 of them. So you can see we have got a lot of information, a lot of systems, a lot of them which we can employ in combination to determine the trends and the possibilities of our future. Above all, what can you do by yourself in order to gain a semblance of predicting your future with some comfortable accuracy? All these systems, they are there at your disposal. And after you have discovered the trends, you can start to influence those events so that they become favorable or advantageous to you. This is it. This is what we need. Number 6, these are some of the ways to know your future. Memorize and envision our ancestral achievements like this and our ancestral teachings. Be healthy mentally by using visualization. Do that which will guarantee you comfortable aging. Our ancestors taught that the body becomes what the foods are, as the spirit becomes what thoughts are. So good food, good thoughts, and also astro knowledge, broad understanding of astronomy. This is what we should learn. Some experts have no doubt that artificial intelligence will soon be able to develop general intelligence that humans have. But others argue that they can't, because machines are finite, made by finite minds. But there is a way they are looking at to connect you to their machines. And when they connect you to their machines, you are not only connected to machines, you are connected beyond human, beyond machines. Because AI, artificial intelligence, is only capable of a certain kind of randomness because they are predetermined devices. For them to go beyond finiteness, they must be connected to something infinite or something greater than them. And there is the divinity apophis. The evil application of artificial intelligence is the exogenous control of the human mind using these systems. Apophis, god of darkness. Now, let's look at the summary of the 7 ways to determine your future. In other ways, how you can create your favorable future. You have to fight for it. You have to battle for it. It's not easy. It's not coming on a platter because everyone on the earth today is fighting today for their future. Number 1, you must understand the present. Number 2, you must verify the presence of the unseen, non-spirit, non-being creator and acknowledge that. Number 3, you must spew out ignorance. Number 4, you must know there is determinism and random occurrences. And which one are you dealing with? Number 5, you must deal directly and radically with data and then transform that data into information as well as determine its quality and quantity. Number 6, assisted tactics to know the future. There are plenty and hundreds of these. And then last but not least, astro knowledge and visualization. So these are some of the tactics that you can use to determine your future, to know your future. And Marifado is there to assist and to help as best as we can. But we want to emphasize that good works will every day pave all the ways for you to know your future. And the greatest future that you can ever have is the afterlife, after the weighing of your heart. So you should practice good works as a Muntu, as a melanin dominant human being, not as a Christian or Jew or Muslim or anything else. You must practice what you were created to practice on the earth as a Muntu, Ubuntu, Maati, philosophy and spirituality. Our ancestors had special devices and systems in temples and homes, and they had home altars like here. See here, very, very powerful, where they would ask about their future and your future also. You can use it, your past, and where they would receive kinetic energy in terms of cycles and the energy that was left behind by our ancestors and their ancestors too, the good ancestors who lived in the past. You could ask about possible outcomes, solutions to problems, or even medical issues. It was a form of natural artificial intelligence, self-aware computer. This is the computer we are talking about. It's a spiritual machine, powerful spiritual machine. You switch it on, it works. But you have to learn the home keys. You have to learn which ancestors, which programs, which software to use. So our ancestors, knowing the future, buried the crystals separately, knowing that the future would be hijacked by the sons and daughters of Apopipa, Apophis, the dragon, the evil ones, who would upset Maat, and they have already upset Maat anyway. Whether they saw one of us, maybe you, retrieving these crystals, it's not clear to us at the moment. But what we know is that Marifado Family Group is ready to discuss and share this information with those that are interested in this possibility. If you are interested, get in touch with us by sending an email on join@marifado.com. Your soul is your area of focus. Your ninefold soul, as taught by ancient African priests and philosophers, they taught us that the soul in humans has 9 main parts. So that is our future, the afterlife. And ye people of Karnak, you who wish to see a man, come to me. That's what they are teaching our ancestors. I shall report your petitions, for I am indeed the messenger of this divinity. The king has appointed me to report the words of the 2 lands, the higher and the lower, the higher self and the lower self, the body and the spirit, the body and the soul, and invoke my name daily, as is done to one who has taken a vow. Amen. 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 This spiritual rabbi Elem Dumizulu of Kamiti Hebrew Ethics saying, subscribe to our channel and let us walk this journey together. We are rebuilding our greatness. Thank you. Have a great day. Tatenda siyabonga. Enkos edupe asante sana.